disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you asking about that, because you say, your Machado is coming out of the other weight classes, and that's it, and he's welterweight, so don't make sense. He's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because you know I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is no. But if the fight makes sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at #1 pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
You know, it's a few people there who deserve be the #1 pound per pound, and it's fine.
CaneloAlvarez, the current face of boxing, has fired back at Terence Crawford's recent challenge with a bold response that's got fans talking. In a newly released video, Alvarez firmly stated, "Send me the contract," clearly signaling his readiness to take on Crawford in a high-stakes clash. Crawford, who has openly expressed his desire to test himself against the Mexican icon, may finally get the opportunity.
In your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can't put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1.
Has the Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it happens. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be good.
He's been pushing for. This potential showdown between two elite champions at the peak of their powers has sparked widespread excitement and could shape up to be one of the most thrilling fights in modern boxing history. Canelo Alvarez, a native of Guadalajara, Mexico, is a 4-division world champion and the reigning undisputed.
Canelo is beating these guys with all 5 layers of defense. Number 1, feet. Number 2, elbows, hands, shoulders, and the mind. This is exactly how both of those guys got to the highest level of boxing supremacy. Canelo Alvarez means to the Mexican fans what Floyd Money Mayweather meant for black people. 50 wins in boxing, no losses, no draws. And follow for more.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience. He's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult.
Super middleweight title holder, renowned for his powerful punches, defensive mastery, and versatility in the ring, Canelo has taken on and defeated some of the biggest names in boxing, cementing his legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats. Terence Crawford, hailing from Omaha, Nebraska, is a multi-division
Canelo, and he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing. It was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. The power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm going to get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I got to bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. We be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove. You know, that's like a thing for me when my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves. 'Cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and respond.
Division world champion with titles in the lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, and super welterweight divisions. Celebrated for his switch-hitting prowess, high ring IQ, and knockout power, Crawford cemented his legacy by becoming the undisputed welterweight champion following a dominant win over Errol Spence Jr.
We have to talk about this. Terence Crawford just tweeted, Canelo versus Crawford is definitely by far the biggest fight in boxing. This guy is not playing around. All right. Crawford, pound for pound, #1. Canelo, biggest star in boxing still at the moment. Anywhere. I'm not talking about just in the US, Mexico, the UK, everywhere. Canelo is now open. At first it was, hey, I can't go down to 160. I can't do a catch weight of 160. If he wants to fight me, it's gonna be at 168. Plus, I'm not gonna get any credit if I beat a Terence Crawford. It would be like Terence Crawford fighting Tank, moving 2 weight classes up, and I'm not gonna get credit for that. Terence Crawford is a special fighter. He is like a Floyd and a Manny that can move up to weight classes, carry his power, can beat up bigger guys. He's a special.
After Fry. His recent victory, Terence Crawford publicly called out CaneloAlvarez, expressing his ambition to move up to 168 pounds to challenge the Mexican superstar. In response, Canelo addressed the call-out in a video message, saying, "If he really wants to fight, send me the contract." His statement signals a clear openness to the matchup, provided the terms.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
A major point of discussion surrounding this potential fight is the considerable weight difference between the two fighters. Canelo has been competing at 168 pounds, while Crawford's recent bouts have been at 147 and 154 pounds. Canelo has voiced concern about the size gap, stressing that weight classes exist for a reason, and that jumping multiple divisions poses a real challenge.
Vomiting, it was just tough, man. It was just a tough year. Which, at the end of the day, I'm a fighter. I believe who I am, the confidence and my skills and talent. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I do. It was just tough. And did it play in the fight? It played in the whole circle. You know, like the communication level, like between me and my dad, just a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That usually is there, wasn't there because of the situation, which is, to me, fine, because I went through with it. I believe in myself, my talent, and whatever happens, happens. But I'm not going to be shy or run away from something because, like, life is going on. But this is my life also, is boxing.
Yeah. What caused, you mentioned your brother was in a coma on the 4th floor, your mom in a coma in the 5th floor. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm letting a little bit out. It's more like an intimate settings where I can sit down and have an interview, and I feel like I can like tell somebody face to face. Over the phone, it's kind of like, not the proper way I would like to deliver like my message, but
Yeah, just tough, man. It's just tough. It was just a tough time.
Yeah.
Tough time, man. It was a tough time. And then I lost my mom.
Mhm.
No?
Yeah, no, I could, I could see it still affects you. I know it comes in waves. All of a sudden, it just crashes on you, and you get like, a flood of emotion going through. So, my condolences to you on that, Demetrius. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, in terms of the performance, a lot of people were wondering, like, hey, like, well, what's going on here? This is not the Demetrius we're used to seeing in the ring. Others have pointed out, like, hey, that's just what happens when a Benavidez fights someone. It overwhelms them. But overall, now looking back at the fight, like, what'd you make of how it played out, in your opinion?
I mean, I went in there and just, like I said, like some of the usual way of training or some of the stuff that I'm used to hearing wasn't there because the corner was silent. It was like me and my dad had have like a relationship during that time. Andre Rosario, who was like sort of new to the situation, and then it just was a whole bunch of silence. It wasn't this normal stuff like the stuff that will keep me reminded. At the same time.
Former world champion and seasoned boxer Demetrius Andrade has shared his thoughts on the potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Offering a thoughtful perspective, Andrade highlighted the importance of size and experience at higher weight classes. His analysis echoes that.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
That of many boxing experts, recognizing Crawford's elite skill set, while also underscoring the formidable challenge of facing a fighter as experienced and powerful as Canelo. David Benavidez has echoed similar sentiments. While he praised Terence Crawford's technique and skill, he expressed skepticism about Crawford's power translating.
You want to fight Canelo Alvarez?
Payday. I'm the face of boxing.
Crawford wanted a payday, but Crawford didn't do good at 54. When I talk to people, they all tell me you would have knocked him out at 68.
Well, he knows now. He experimented 154, and he knows. Maybe he do in 168 for a big check.
My last thing, Canelo, you just donated $70 million.
To the higher weight classes. Benavidez noted that Crawford would need to move up 2 full divisions to face Canelo, a leap he views as a major hurdle. Emphasizing the importance of respecting weight classes, Benavidez gave Canelo the edge in a potential matchup, pointing out the difficulties of stepping up to face it.
Look up the definition of boxing. Please, please, look up the definition of boxing. The martial arts of boxing, and then come back with your opinion. Because boxing is not all about knocking somebody out. Yes, that's part of it. That can happen, but boxing is a sport where you can outpoint somebody too. That's why they go to the scorecard.
I appreciate that take, bro. That's real educated, man, real thoughtful. But you ain't had a decision win in a long time, bro. You known for like being a great finisher. So I appreciate that. But that ain't how you moving though.
Right.
Follow for more.
An experienced IA champion at a higher weight. Although Benavidez himself has long been a top contender in the 168-pound division and is viewed as a legitimate challenge for
This for all the nut huggers, the bud nut huggers, the bud butt buddies. You see that. You see that. We see that. You understand me? You see what that say? Jamel Charlo what is the WBA junior middleweight champion in recess? Jamel Charlo is the WBC junior middleweight champion in recess. Nah, man. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the WBC intern junior middleweight champion. Nah, man. So make it make sense. People got to make it make sense. Charlo's still a big dog there. Yeah, that's my camera behind me. Charlo's still a big dog there. So a lot of people need to get they facts straight. Understand? Opinions don't matter. It's all facts. No opinions. Sport podcast. And I'm always going to bring you the real, never the fake. And I'm never late on the news. You hear me? Get at me, man. Dollar.
Vestido de blanco, con vivos rojos y negros. Su peso oficial, 107 libras.
Canelo's power and experience in higher weight classes are undeniable strengths. His ability to absorb punches and deliver powerful counterattacks makes him a dangerous opponent. In addition, his agility and ring movement further elevate his skill set, reinforcing his reputation as a versatile and complete fighter. Having recently moved up to
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done.
154 lbs, Crawford captured the WBO interim super welterweight title, but he seemed to lack the same punching power he showed at 147 lbs. However, moving up to super middleweight to face Canelo would be a major step up. The transition comes with significant challenges, including adapting to the increase.
You had to like Terence's walk.
Oh, incredible.
It was fire.
Right, yeah, especially being able to fight. No one knew who really was going to win. And you can see the confidence. And I don't think real confidence you can fake.
Increased power and physicality of opponents in the higher weight class. While Crawford's technique and skill are exceptional, doubts remain about whether his power and durability will hold up at super middleweight. Despite the challenges, Crawford's versatility and adaptability could play a crucial role in the fight. His ability to switch stances.
For Crawford saying he wanted to fight you.
Everybody
wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now, I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the, how they call him, the Excellency. Yeah, Turkey.
His
Excellency. The Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, hands down.
That'll work. So if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in.
And use both hands with equal effectiveness adds an element of unpredictability, making him difficult to counter. Additionally, his exceptional footwork and high ring IQ allow him to control the pace and manage distance effectively, giving him the strategic tools to navigate the fight.
If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough.
A fight between Canelo and Crawford would undoubtedly be a major financial spectacle, drawing global attention. Both fighters have large fan bases, and their clash would likely generate substantial pay-per-view revenue. Promoters and networks would need to negotiate terms.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight.
everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.